Well, hello out there. This is Illuminated Pathways Family Therapy, and I am Rhonda Velders, the owner of Illuminated Pathways. And we're just here once again having a conversation with a counselor, and just wanted to kind of reach out and just kind of share some ideas and maybe some things that we've learned along the way. Today, I have with me Caitlin. And I'll let her introduce herself in a moment. But we're going to talk a little bit about like what maybe college looks like as a student, and then how she chose Illuminated Pathways. So come on in, sit for a little bit, and just have comment in below and let us know what you think. And I pray that you just find this very enlightening and empowering, so that you can learn how to have a voice, but learn a little bit more about who we are with Illuminated Pathways. So, Caitlin, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you
Good.
for asking.
So, introduce yourself, kind of share about, what got you into counseling, why you chose the field, and some of your experiences up to this point. Just share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I am currently a counseling student. I'm in my first practicum, so getting my hours in my master's program. And I chose counseling because, and this really dawned on me in practice as I'm going through it. We actually had a client where we spoke about finding your purpose. And as we know, like life just changes every day and we go through things. And it just dawned on me like a week ago um, that my purpose is to, show young women that we can stand up for ourselves, advocate for ourselves, and don't be shy about it, regardless if that's with a family member, in relationships, at work, at school. We can do those things, of course, respectfully and praying about those things. So, apart from that, now that kind of aligns with what I want to do with counseling, and so my overall decision for choosing that is the same thing. Just being able to advocate for others and teach them how to do that. Because a lot of people, when you're not aligned with how you're thinking and you're not connected with mind, body, spirit, there's no way that you can produce what you want for yourself. And so when you get those things aligned, which therapy can help you do, I feel like we can put people out there to do those things on their own and let them know that this is the graph that I've seen through therapy. And so that's just all I want as a counselor for myself. I just want to encourage people to go to counseling. You don't have to wait until life is lifing, as we say. You can go and get the help you need, get the guidance, build your confidence. Therapy doesn't just help when life hits the rocks, right? Like, just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you find Illuminated Pathways?
So I actually I found Illuminated Pathways on a list of 25 probably different agencies and private practices. And as I was doing this, there were five other agencies that were highlighted in yellow. And to this day, I still do not know why they were highlighted. But I remember I had a long drive and it was getting to that point. I had to make a deadline to choose a practicum site. And I was like, you know what? Like, I would call every number on this list until somebody responds to me and accepts me as an intern. And of course, I prayed about it and I was like, I know that he's going to put me right where I need to be. And when I tell you the only person that picked up the phone was Miss Lydia, she's such a great face of Illuminated Pathways. Anyways, she picked up the phone, she responded to me. Um, and within a day, I think Miss Rhonda got back to me, not even to question it, but to confirm it. Um, and she was like, I want you to meet me in person. I want you to see where you're going to be working, where you're going to be learning, because that's important. And she reassured me that if I'm comfortable here, um, like she'll take me. And it never felt like a question. And I don't know if that's because Miss Rhonda just saw something in me, but on my end, it wasn't questionable either. Like just walking into her space and seeing what she's made of her home, and extended such a gift to people to do this out of her home. I just walked out of here really thankful that I found her. And so she's highlighted on that list for a reason. And so I'm still to show you that list so you can see what you
Yeah.
look like on there. But no, yeah. So I found Limited Pathways through school resources, but I did the work to bring myself here.
Yeah. So, what would you like share with the community out there? if they're looking for a practicum site, would you highly recommend Illuminated Pathways, and why?
Okay, so I meet with my cohort 2 days out of the week. And we also have our, like our group chat on the side where we support each other, ask questions. And I, not just because, I'm here, I'm sitting in front of the owner, but I highly recommend Illuminated Pathways because I feel like when you just take the time to not only advocate for yourself, but choose somebody that's going to invest in you and advocate for you the way that you do it for yourself. I feel like there's no way that you can grow if you don't do that. And so the first day that I walked in here, Ms. Rhonda, as my supervisor, has poured into me. Like I don't know if other people experience that with supervisors or in their practice, but this was my first placement. It'll probably be my last because I'm stuck here. Like I will stay here as long as she lets me. Um, and I just think that I'm so comfortable with where I'm at because I know that I'm getting the things that I need to learn. It's not just coming and yeah, you're doing great. No, like our supervisions are, constructive criticism. She holds me accountable. She teaches me these things, and so I think that's really important as a developing counselor, to have the right people in your corner that really teach you the things to eventually teach your clients. Without that, I feel like you're lacking what you need to serve these clients and also yourself. You do yourself an injustice. Um, and I would say just don't be afraid to say what you need. If you don't know something, um, if you're not comfortable with something, be in a space with your supervisor where you can openly talk to her, him, whoever it is, because those things have helped me through this process. Just being able to be completely transparent and open. And I compare, not in a bad sense, but I compare a lot of the situations that my cohort members are going through currently, where they're lacking the supervision that they need, they're lacking the resources, they're being thrown into sessions without being properly prepped for those. So Miss Rhonda, she wouldn't put me with a client until I observed for a period of time. And when she did, it was because, of course, she was trusting in my work, and also it was observed. And so I think that when she finally let me, set me free, it came from a place of her observing my work and also me observing her work to see how we can collaborate those things so that our clients' needs can be met. Um, and if you have a supervisor that's just lacking in that area, just speak up for yourself because in the end, you're the only person that loses. Um, and I know that we all want to be just great counselors. If you're a student counselor watching, I just really encourage you to do those things.
Okay. So earlier, I'm sure you didn't mean it, but like you're stuck.
I'm not stuck in the sense that like I don't have, like she's just holding me here, but I'm willingly stuck. I will stay here as long. It's just a great place. It feels like home. And if it feels like home for the therapist, I feel like that's how our clients feel. And we're in a residential setting.
Yes.
And so I feel like that takes away from this stigma that therapy has to be like in an office or therapy is already intimidating for those who haven't been or even those who have been. And so coming into a space where you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble and I have to say these things, like you're coming into a home. And I think that makes it so comforting for our clients to be here.
Okay. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Very good. So tell me what you think about having a therapy dog.
Oh my gosh, Dwight is so cute. Okay, so Dwight is our therapy dog. Um, and when I first came here and I saw that that was something that we offer for clients, I questioned whether it was something that would maybe like push our clients away or possible clients, and because everybody's not a dog person. Um, but it's just crazy that when people come here, it's almost like they look forward to being greeted by Dwight. And we have other dogs that are going to be trained also to be therapy dogs because her business is just growing so much that Dwight can't be in every room. But regardless of what our clients are going through, I think just being able to have Dwight in sessions, that really helps them. And also, he's just so intuitive, like it's just when clients are pouring their hearts out and just being vulnerable. Dwight is so attuned with what they're going through and those emotions that you see them just naturally like reach for Dwight, you know, reaching for that support. And that really helps to balance the room. You know, everybody's doing their part.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because one of the other counselors, she's like, "Can I have Dwight this hour?" And like, so everybody wants them. So we have Bella. And so eventually you're going to start seeing on our website pictures of Bella and on Google, so that there'll be more pictures of her showing up. So she's our golden retriever. She's not quite two. She's not trained yet. So Dwight is highly trained. And so Bella will be our next dog. So, and then, you know, we're going to stop where there though. So we'll hopefully just figure out those things as people are seeing. But it's fun because if I can't find my dog, the door is closed. I know that he's in therapy with another family or a couple or a person, right? So the children love, love, love. So, so have you had an opportunity to go to the park yet in the neighborhood?
I have not.
Okay,
No.
so let me share. Okay, so that's probably one of the almost the most favoritist thing ever, for the idea of when we take care of our children and teens, is to have the idea of like, oh, you know, if they've been in class all day at school, I want to be able to like, you know, I'm just like them. You know, I get bored of sitting in this chair or a chair, whatever room this is, and then you know, if I've been sitting all day, like I'd rather go for a walk and maybe go feed the ducks or go see the turtles and play a frisbee or, you know, shoot some hoop. But you know, but idea like, you know, just having some things that we can do. So we're right here. For those who don't know, Illuminated Pathways headquarters, our main office is in Nassa Bay, Texas, down by Clear Lake, and the water feeds off into the Gulf of America. So and so that's kind of nice, and so we can go see the boats and ski. People might be on their ski-doos, or but I really love the ducks. And then there's a dog park, a playground, and so Nassa Bay is a really great place to kind of, so you know, if we teach people that part of getting them better, especially if they come in depressed or having struggles, they have to get active. But if we just talk about it in the room and we're not showing them how to do it, we get to get out the door. We can just, hey, they do our check-in and then walk out the front door and go for a walk. You know, you can go around the block and just set your phone to a timer and then turn around from wherever you are and come back. And so I find that even my kids love that.
Yeah.
And so something to kind of, if you haven't been able to do that yet, find yourself to be able to do that. It's okay. And I think they really will be surprised, like, oh, well, we can do that. Like, yeah, let's go. I'm just like you. I want to get out of this joint, you know? I don't want to be stuck in this room all the time too, you know? And so I think that's that idea of that stigma of always having to be someplace. So we have great opportunities to kind of share with our community about how we operate here. And so we're really not traditional setting for sure, but even in the therapy room, it's not traditional. To the idea of we you know, we just will get up and go walk. If we're going to teach it, we got to practice it with them. So kind of helping them move along and get to those places. So so now that you've been here since August, right? Wow. It seems like it's just yesterday. You know, well, it seems like yesterday when I first met you, which I think was in what, early June or May?
No,
When was
I
that?
met you in April.
Oh,
Early
oh
May.
wow.
Yeah.
See, it's been a minute. So I'd say when I first met you, um, I was really impressed with your questions, which, by the way, like if you're going to interview for a company, like it's really important to do your homework, right? So what does that mean, homework? You probably should look them up, kind of see if you align, make sure that you understand who we are. Because at Illuminate Pathways, we're faith-based. We're going to constantly work on the individual, the couple, the family, and bring it back to God's original design, back and how He created us. And so I think that learning that's going to be really important. That, you know, but no matter who you're going to go interview for, you should probably look up the company, right? You should look them up, kind of see who you're going to be dealing with. And she came in ready to go, and I'm like, oh, I'm so impressed. So there's a lot about Caitlin that really made me feel like this is a person that's on top of her game. She's taking charge. You know, she's good at, you know, for the most part, making good decisions. Like she's a decision maker. She thinks things through, knows what she wants, and then she's settled in. And so I'm really thankful that she chose Illuminated Pathways. So thank you for that. So okay, um, since you came in, so you I met you in April.
Mhm.
I didn't even have Cindy yet,
Yeah.
and now you look
Mhm.
and you see all the
Yeah.
people. What do you think?
I think it's pretty amazing because I remember when I came here, we had mm, so I think we were only supposed to meet for like just a quick chat, right? And I walked out of here 2 hours later. Like we had a conversation for 2 hours. Um, and in that conversation, you told me a little bit about your business and that it was just you for a while. And now to see that it's picked up so much since April when I met you, and then even August when I actually actively started working and completing my internship, to see just the growth and like the new faces, and every time I come in, she's like, "Oh, I'm interviewing someone," or I met somebody. It's just great to see that. I'm happy for you to see that your dream is coming through. Like you've worked so hard to build this, and now you're able to bless us as interns and LPCAs and all the things for us to also reach our dreams. And she doesn't do it with just mediocre effort. It's everybody gets the same Miss Rhonda every time you sit down in a meeting. She gives full effort, and I think those things are a blessing to us, and that's why you're so blessed to be able to do all that you're doing with Illuminated
Yeah.
Pathways. Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember. I might have shared it with you, and that like. So we have a new counselor out in Sugarland.
Mhm.
So we're just waiting for her to finalize her
Yeah.
paperwork. For the most part, the state's done their part. So now it's just doing that.
Yeah.
But we're going to have an office in Sugarland.
Hmm.
We have office space ready to go in Conroe.
Yeah.
And then I have a really, really strong connection in Kingwood.
Yeah.
So when you think about like when you first met me,
Hmm.
and we're just in this joint right here, right? Like, and now we're looking like God is just
Hmm.
expanding our territory
Yeah.
and just giving us these things. What do you think about all that?
Um, I think that it really reassures and confirms that it goes back to my point of like he put all of us as interns and whoever walks through the doors in the right hands and in the right place at the right time. Because something as a student, I worry about job security. I would hate to have to go to school and then not work in a field that I've spent all this money and all this effort and time investing myself in. And I know that that's been a pattern for some career fields, but I just don't want that for myself, and I wouldn't want that for other counselors. And so to know that you're in a space where it's not just about completing your hours and then okay, like see you later. It's when I tell you just investing in you and pouring into you in all these ways, just creating opportunities, and to think that okay, if one location might not be working out because of living situation or commute, to know that there's room to grow and I don't have to leave a place that I love and the connections that I have with people, because I can do that at a different place. And so I think to be able to just rest assured, knowing that of course he's covering me and walking this path with me, but also to see it in action, and it's just like wow, this is beautiful. Like it, just don't overlook the little things and the blessings. Like there's a lot going on in life, but I always tell people you're living in an answered prayer. Something like
Amen.
like driving your car. There was a time, man, I wish I had a car. So sometimes you have to bring yourself back. Like this could really be worse. And so I'm just really really grateful to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so if you could say, modalities and different things, right? While you've been here and what you've learned so far, what is your favorite or your go-to modality or worksheet or process that you have found yourself doing that you just like, whoa, that was great?
Yeah. So actually, um, I haven't I haven't done it myself, but I've observed for a month or maybe a month and a half with you, um, and you practice something called image transformation therapy. And you've spoken for it yourself, you've done it, you've experienced it. And when you get your clients in the room and whatever they're facing, and you introduce this form of therapy to them, and just to see them sit through it, and obviously I don't understand it because I personally don't have experience with it, but if you have multiple clients coming and telling you like, Miss Rhonda, like this works, I'm excited to get there. I'm excited to get that training and to see what that is like, even for myself. Like I want to try it on myself
Hmm.
to be able to know, so that I just feel like there's no way you can try something on a client if you haven't tried it yourself. And so being able to observe that, not just with one or two or three, like multiple clients, and then sitting in their sessions after that and, like asking them, so how has that been? Like, what was that memory for you? Or how are you handling that? And just to see that it's maybe not a full 180 yet, right? But there's progress there just because of that. I think that's really interesting. And I'm really interested and invested to see how I can even use that with my clients one day. Yeah.
Right. That is probably my most favorite modality. I'm really, really super grateful. You know, I'm still in the full process. I'll become certified in it. I have like another major training to go through, but phone calls, the different things that, the things that we do to become an expert in an area, it's not something you just read a book and pick it up and go do it. Like you got to spend the time
Yeah.
and get in there and do that. So, Dr. Robert Miller from California is the originator for this program or this modality called image transformation therapy. And so I'm really thankful that I have been turned on to it. So it's really great. OCD, addictions, trauma. And the beautiful part of it is that you don't have to talk about your feelings. You don't have to get into them. Like you just notice them. You just know that they're out there, but you don't have to touch them. You don't have to get into the nitty gritty of the stuff, and you get to kind of go through the treatment. And it's just really, really cool. And I don't really know about Dr. Miller's walk in the Lord, if he is or not, but I do know that in my practice, when I use it, I believe it's a God practice. God created us, He created our brain, He created the things. He is the all knowing. So there's not like, I don't need to know all the things. So that's, I think, what makes it really great. Men actually do really well with this. And then I found that my autism spectrum, Aspergery, kind of they can really hone in on that. It's been very, very helpful for them to break certain habits and behaviors. And so that's really been kind of neat too. So, um, I would just really love to like, so maybe we do that in supervision and we kind of see what we can do with that. So you can experience it. Cause I think have Dr. David Pickup, when I was at a conference here in Houston, or maybe he's an LMFT. I don't know that he's a PhD. So LMFT, David Pickup. I think that he came to a conference I was at, and he was a speaker on this. And so I raised my hand really fast, and so I had a trauma with elevators from back when I was around early teenager, and so I have no more fears for that. So like when we have phobias and fears, like it's pretty powerful. So I would have to agree that I think, and doing counseling since 2008. There's many great things that I've learned and done, but I think that's probably my favorite modality. I would agree, just because we can see the healing in it, and which watching them, like
Mhm.
you can see when it's like
Mhm.
you when their eyes are
Yeah.
closed, you can see that it's
Yeah.
happening,
Mhm.
and then it's hard not to get emotional because you just helped heal them. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really cool too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so let's see here. Do you have any questions for me you'd like to ask?
Well, I just wanted to go back to, we talked about like the business growing, and I just want to ask how that's been for you, kind of still, like working with your clients and also balancing all the other things. How do you keep yourself grounded and just being able to do all the things, supervisor, therapist, business owner?
Yeah. Well, thankfully, thank you for asking that
Mhm.
because whew. Okay, so thrivetimeshow.com, Clay Clark, right? So I've officially met him for sure, but I think I've been following him since like 2020. And I am really thankful for his business because he's kind of an out there guy, meaning he's very full of energy, just like nails it. He really wants to help people, and so I started watching his business videos, right? His podcasts that he would do, and just kind of, And then when God gave me a vision, October 17th, 2024, he woke me up around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he gave me this vision that I would be expanding my business, expanding my territory, and that these were the things. And I just began to write these things down, like, oh my goodness, like I don't know how to do this. I've been doing this by myself for the most part, and thankfully I had Lydia at this point. But I'm really looking at things and kind of going, had I not had that dream, I don't know that I would have called Clay Clark. And so instead, I had the dream. I knew Clay Clark, and so when it came around, like I started getting these like. Started listening to some of his videos, and then he would promote the next time he was going to do a business conference. So why am I answering it this way? It's because he taught me how to focus in those areas where before I felt like I was running in circles. So I think prior to meeting him and getting a business coach, I think I don't know that I would be as balanced as I am, but he's got like a 13-step process that you go through. And so like knowing all the different things, and he's taught me how to make lists. He's taught me how to really think through things. He's taught me how to put scripts together. He's taught me how to like really look at like the financial spread, understanding why it's important to look at everything in a regular, constantly hiring, constantly, getting people to come in for an interview. So I think that I didn't realize I would I don't know that he taught me how to manage people so much, right? Because that just kind of like it fell in, and it fell in fast, right? So I would say I hired Cindy in May, and I didn't even find her traditionally either, right? So not a traditional therapist, not in a traditional setting, and I meet Cindy at a Bible study. So like not even on Indeed.com, not on LinkedIn. Like I find her at a Bible study, and I'm going, this is crazy. So I think that's really beautiful. And so that was the start. And that was after hiring Clay. Then she came on in May, and then the people just began to kind of come in. And so I think my next one, I think it was Denise. She was in July. And then next thing I know, Aaron. And then it was like you had already come as a student. And then Kaylee called. And then now we have Hannah's going to join us this month. And then Angela, she's from New York. That's kind of, I say she's been rescued out of New York. So she's here in Sugar Land, and she's now working for us out of Sugar Land. And so we'll get her set up out there. And so that's a brand new location for us. So I'm really excited. But yeah, it's been really amazing how fast. And then learning one of the things Clay taught, and I really made sense for me, and kind of really OCD tendencies. And so I'm always in the business. Like I'm always in the room, working with the client, working in the things, right? But he said, you have to find the time to work on the business. And so I'm like, oh God, that means I'm going to have to like work no days with clients, and I got to work on my business. Oh my gosh, what does that look like? And will my clients be okay with that? So I really had to really jump in, like, or I guess I could say it this way. I had to step out of the boat like Peter and really take the faith and believe that it was going to work out. But for the most part, like I had no idea what it was going to look like. I really didn't. And next thing you know, here I gotta I work on this, on my business on this particular day. And then there's another day that I'll be doing. So eventually the business is open. Primarily it's really open Tuesday through Saturday, but eventually Monday will open up as for work days for them. And so that'll be really good. But for me, I'm here 6 days a week. So one of the things too, Clay taught, and I think that this is kind of neat, we love the Bible and we like what teachings are in it. But did you know that the really the real definition of work means worship?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, and so he taught that. Clay talks about that on a regular. Like, God worked for 6 days and then he rested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so we were to worship in our work.
Yeah.
Is that wild?
That's interesting.
And so I was like, okay, that's a new perspective. Like I don't have to have I don't have a Saturday to myself anymore, by the way. So here we are on a Saturday doing this actually. So, but yeah, this is definitely, we're on October 25th, Saturday of 2025. And, but yeah, and that was really powerful statement. and God has really done a great work in Clay too, and I can see that too, just in his delivery of how in his own testimony and how he wants these businesses to do these things. And so sounds like I'm doing a commercial for him, but kind of am, because he's really doing a great thing for Illuminated Pathways. And I don't think I'd be in this spot today, even sitting in a chair, like even doing this, had it not been for him to give me the courage to step out and feel the blessings from God and all those things. So yeah, I would really believe that too. But yeah, you're right. Supervision hours. Like just last night, I did a marriage event,
Yeah.
and so I thought we was going to just be there for 2 hours. We were there for 4,
Wow.
and they were asking question after
Mhm.
question, and I really believe that was a really God thing, right?
Yeah.
So here are these beautiful couples, and just teaching them really what God has to say about marriage and understanding the groom and the bride, and God the Father is, Jesus Christ is the groom, and the church is the bride, and what does that look like when we're two are made one? And so that was another thing. Like, I mean, just so many beautiful things are happening. We want to partner with churches and kind of be available for them. And so, yeah, God, God did it. I just, so God owns the home. God owns the business. I have the pleasure of sitting in the chair, and so do you, right? This isn't anything by our strength that we're doing this. He gives us the mind, the tools. He's given us the ability to learn and then to execute, right? So I think there's been some really beautiful things with that, and that's something. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I don't know what I really don't know what it's going to look like. Like once these actual places are filled with employees, right? Like, and opening up these other locations, but God's now lined them up, and so who am I? I'm just got to be obedient and believe that He's going to do those things. Yeah, yeah.
It's really interesting. You said something about, work meaning worship. And I think I wanted to point something out to students, especially because I know that we don't all have the luxury to just focus solely on our internship or, like quit our jobs. But right now we're required to meet a certain amount of hours within a time span. I know that, like the pressure is on, but I just want to say that this is temporary and what you put in is what you're going to get out. And when you ask for these things, whether you're praying or um, just whatever you're doing to ask to receive these things, just be ready for it. And so I had to like rewire my brain a little bit because I was asking for all these things, right? Like I wanted a great supervisor. I everything that I have, thank the Lord, like everything that I have, I asked for it, but I had to open my heart to that and I had to be ready for it, to be able to accept that. And so what that means for me is I have other corporate members that just don't be mediocre in your work is what I'm saying. So, do any of us want to like give up our weekends? Maybe not. We have so many other things that we can be doing. Grocery shopping, cleaning the house, right? But when I look at it, I'm like, okay, this is just the season of my life. And he planted a seed in me and he I know he'll let it grow. But I need to make myself available to do that. And so I always tell people in my cohort, it's about how bad you want it. And it's about how much you've prayed for this one thing and show him that you're going to honor that prayer. You're going to honor what he's given you. And so, whether that looks like you being committed to your work and also being committed to your internship, good for you. But just know that extend yourself, right? Like it's temporary. This is not forever that we're going to be in this space. And we'll be able to maybe one day just be like, these are the hours I'm working and I'm not working weekends. But right now, we're living in a blessing because not everybody out there gets to be a counselor. Not everybody gets to make it this far. And I just think it's really important when those opportunities are given to you, snatch them. Even if you can only show up for an hour, you can learn so much in an hour. Any networking events that you think like, oh, I want to sit this one out. You just never know who you meet. You could be looking in the face of one of your clients. Like you just never know. So yes, I know that we have things to do. We're young. We still want to interact with our families and friends. But, later on in life, it's just, you're going to be able to look back and be like, man, I really did the work to be deserving of where I am. And, once you just give God the grace and and the glory and everything that just the thanks. That's all you can do. Just thank him for all he's done and watch how he's going to transform your life. Even when it feels like nothing is moving, things are moving.
Mhm.
And I just encourage students, especially, to just invest in yourself. No matter what odds you have against you, no plan is greater than his plan. So yeah.
Very good. That's wow. That was excellent. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
When you pour into people, even people you don't even know yet, right? When you
Yeah.
pour into them, you give them the positive message, truly, right? But it really is a work ethic.
Yeah.
It really is. And everyone here is merit based, right? So, I mean, I'm going to work hard, right? I'm going to expect y'all to work hard, right? So, and that means that, like, that might mean you're going to spend a number of hours at a health fair or doing a booth or sitting in on sessions to learn the brand and know what the paperwork looks like, and that means you might sit and have to learn what's going on around here, so that if somebody was to call in and say, hey, they needed a therapist right now, which has happened, and then what would it be like if you just showed up for only that client, right? Oh, this is the other, like, super pet peeve for me. So if you're thinking about illuminated pathways, right, if you show up when the client's walking through the door, we probably won't have a great conversation. Just saying, right? So you should always be ready to go. That means if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're tardy. And so our clients should never watch you walk through the door at the same time. And so that's really important. It's called for preparation. And so in that idea, in putting dignity and integrity into the work that you do. And so I think that was, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a young whippersnapper, but I was telling one time, it's funny. I told Kark, I'm an old dog, and he goes, "It's two things I need to tell you. You're not old, and you're not a dog."
Yeah.
And so, like, anyway, but sometimes we have to really kind of see how important that is to
Yeah.
put in the effort,
Mhm.
right? But like yesterday, like Lydia, man, the phone was ringing yesterday. 5 brand new clients called, 5 new clients scheduled. That was just yesterday. So I think that there's a lot of great things that, I mean, and the Google reviews, right? So if you like this video and you don't mind, go find our business, Illuminated Pathways Family Therapy, and give us a Google review. Whatever you feel like you want to do. I mean, I cannot tell you what to say and whatever, but if you feel like this video was helpful and you felt like we took the time to do what we needed to do, that would be great. But anyway, our website is illuminated pathways-therapy.net. Again, that's illuminated pathways-therapy.net. And if you want to call and schedule an appointment, or if you're interested in working for us, we're looking, right? And so we're licensed in Texas. We haven't expanded outside of Texas yet, but that day will come because the Lord made it clear. So, but right now, um, I'm hoping to wherever that is. I mean, and so if you're interested and you saw this video and you're interested in what we might have to offer, we really do take care of our families and our. I feel like if we get the child or the teen, we get the family, and that's one way that we get to pour into them. Just love and comfort and tools and develop these coping skills, but also like breathe in the Word of God into them. And so, but yeah, is there any final statement you would like to say?
No, I mean, apart from, I just hope that this video was beneficial just to anybody watching. And specifically, I know a lot of the points that I made were towards students, because I am a student and I can only speak from our place. But I just really hope that we gave you a glimpse of what we do here at Illuminated Pathways. And if you would just like to talk to anybody here a little bit more, get to learn the business, give us a call. And there's a lot of us around that can answer questions.
So I know that, like, when she talked about that, this was a lot of the points that she made was for students. Like, me telling you that it's you got to commit at least a year.
Mhm.
What was that like when you heard that?
Um, I wasn't scared of that. I think that actually made me feel more secure, because I knew that, okay, this is for real. Like, I'm starting the work, I'm finishing the work here. And even beyond like a year, for me it's just I'm a person that I'm just not scared of commitment. That's just who I am. Maybe for somebody else that might scare them away, but I think all that reassured me in is just um just telling me I'm going to pour into you, and the reason I want you to stick around is because not, just for the care of our clients, just to not let them see a face and then, oh, I have a new therapist, right? Like, it's just being consistent with your clients and also being consistent with yourself, as you're learning. I think that's really, really important, as a student, to know that, you're growing in a space where clients are seeing your growth, also your supervisor seeing your growth, you're seeing your growth. And I just can't imagine what that would, I can't see it any differently, actually, not being committed probably to the end of my internship. Um, but yeah, it just gives me a sense of security. And I mean, even if that's not something offered to someone, I would say advocate for it. Ask them, like, can we agree that, you keep me under your wing for a year? You know? Yeah.
Yeah, because it takes several semesters, and so I always
Yeah.
find that if I'm going to pour into them and pour into you, for example, that I want you to know that it takes a lot of work,
Yeah.
right? So, and I want you to feel like you're learning, but then the clients don't get the shaft, if you will. If like,
Mhm.
oh, I got what I need, I'm out of here,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's about the client. It's not about
Yeah.
you. It's not about me, and so it's really important that we let them know that we really care about them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, anyway, I thank you so much for sitting with me
Yeah.
today, and I loved our conversation.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, check us out once again at Illuminated Pathways therapy.net. You can call us at 972-768-0754, and Lydia will be great at answering your phone and answering whatever questions that you might have.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and your availability to watch our video. We look forward to meeting you soon.